Hi guys and welcome to Gauge Reviews and to this live stream topic discussion, well, for Astartes 2 and Warhammer Plus. So we are going to talk about those two things, and basically I'm gonna give you my 2 cents what I think about the Astartes project and the new world state of Warhammer. I mean, the animations and everything else in between. Now I have to apologize for my voice because like for the first time in 3 years, maybe I got sick because I got it from someone else. So it is frustrating. I am better, but I'm also almost half deaf, and and my voice is somewhere. So yeah, that's about it about this, and that's why I didn't post anything, on the weekend, and I did my best for my exclusive content for OnlyFans that I had to complete. So, guys, hi to everybody in the chat. My Primarchs, Clyton, Apple, Dear Ivy, Dark, hi to you, SS, hi to you too. Oh, Kakarot is here too. Oh, that's great, guys. Also, I have to stream Necromunda. That's gonna be as soon as humanly possible, but there's a embargo right now, and I cannot do anything about it. I did see like one YouTuber that streamed the game like 3 hours ago, and I was like, okay, the embargo is for everyone, but what is happening here? Never mind. Yeah, so I'm gonna stream it after that if it works, because there's some kind of issue with the PC and the drivers again, so you see how it goes. Okay, on to the topic, guys, on to the topic. So we have this video here that was basically from the recent Warhammer event, the animations review, and we just have to wait, for the next Warhammer event, which I think it was this month, and of course I'm gonna cover it, and then we're going to know a bit more about this. Now, yeah, that's gonna come after the Astartes project. So, yeah, first talking about the Astartes projects, Yama Peterson did create, I think, an Instagram profile. Well, he's supposed to show maybe something in the future, like a picture. But my thoughts on that basically is, well, a few questions, you can say. What he is going to do. I mean, now that Games Workshop have taken control, they can tell him, what to do. Although I do think that he had some kind of a vision, because we see here with this teaser of Astartes 2 that he had a clear vision, it seems, towards what this is going to be like. And this is, different shots from, I think, some of the same battles, some different battles, as you can see here. Then he shows all of those different chapters as well, like successor chapters. And yeah, it looks very, very, interesting. Makes you think, what did he had in mind in the first place? I'm not sure about that first chapter, which one that was, or it was another one. I'm sorry, guys. It's very late. It's very late. This is the first time that I get the chance to actually do something today. So, yeah, I'm not sure about the first one. Which one was that? Those guys look like the Lamenters, but the orange. So maybe it is. I mean, some of those chapters are his creation. Maybe not. You can let me know. But the other thing is, I thought I saw on that Instagram one like blurred picture, but don't quote me on that. It's just what I remember seeing, like, is his first post, and it looks like it was a desert setting. And as you know, in the end of Astartes 1, there was this like other dimension of sorts, where the Astartes warrior appeared there with his arm cut off, and he puked, and then he stood up and he saw all of those skeletons sitting on the throne, and it was amazingly epic. And that could be like a sea, like like Atlantis, that is under the water, and he discovers that, I don't know, I heard some theories there, but the only guy that actually knows is Yama Peterson. But how much of his new vision is going to be realized? That is a very good question, I think. um, if I was Games Workshop, of course, I would have a talk with him, see what he meant, what he wanted to do, and then how this could connect to Warhammer universe. Because in these days they have to connect it to something they already made. His chapter, the first chapter, the Retributors, be canon. So what then? What's next? Now they have to write some lore for the for the Retributors, and in the meantime we have these chapters as well, and it's Astartes 2. So that leads me to believe that when it's Astartes 2, that just means that they're going to be focusing on other, obviously other, legions, other chapters in general, and maybe tell their separate story. So if you look at it as a separate stories, it's going to be very interesting, because like Astartes 1, Astartes Project was like this, you can say like a cutout out of time, out of these particular events, how they went and attacked that ship, get to those guys that look like psychers, get to that inquisitor guy, killed him, get to that orb thing, and all of that. I'm gonna get to your comment just to express what I'm thinking here, kind of like an educated guesses, so to speak. So that was like a contained story, and of course, Siama Pedersen as an artist, he had this scenario, his vision, and no words were basically needed, although there were some words, by that Inquisitor guy, which were very hard to understand. So yeah, you do have to like watch with subtitles and all of that. But overall, there was no other dialogue. If you don't listen to that like really, 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 really carefully, you don't even, you can't even make out almost anything from it. So it was amazing storytelling with amazing visuals, and just a lot of metaphors, so to speak. The way that the Astartes walk, how they move, everything that they do just implies how powerful they are, how extremely disciplined, focused they are, like a sharp tool. A lot of things that he did, they're just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Every move, it didn't need any like specific dialogue, and that was like a self-contained story. But what now, with the Astartes too? He could have had some kind of a exact vision for Astartes 2. He is working on that for quite a while on his own, and now all of a sudden he is, you know, taken by Games Workshop, and probably some changes could be made, but we also maybe will never know. Who knows? And maybe it's going to be expanded, maybe not just like one single episode, because when you get all the Astartes episodes, it's like 30 minutes of like one short movie. If you watch them individually, they're of course very, very short. How they're gonna do this is very interesting. Now he will have the resources and the financial support by Games Workshop to really work on this. Maybe someone else that is with his technical level of skill, knowledge with animation, visuals, all of that is going to help him speed things up, because this is an amazing undertaking for one freaking person. I opened the Unreal Engine 5 today and download some free assets that Epic Game Store was offering now for free. I do plan to start learning that somehow, but it's extremely overwhelming at first, because you have to learn, watch it. What is what? Sorry, what is what? And even like the basics are gonna take so much time, and I wanted to learn Blender, but that's the same thing, like starting from scratch with a new software. And yeah, uh, I can't imagine like reaching that level of animation, sound design, and it's mind-blowing, guys. So what we can expect with Astartes 2, at least in my opinion, is going to be something. I mean, purely, purely visual. I think that's going to be something that's going to take place in the desert for the most part, or at least that's going to be like a main location. I just wonder if it's going to be that dimension with the huge, big, you know, god skeletons on the throne, or just totally different. So that is it. I mean, from that aspect, that what I wanted to say is that if it's not like a direct continuation, it looks like it's going to be its own story for different Astartes chapters, legions, and all of that. It really looks like it's going to be separate, and I haven't think about that. I mean, we just see Astartes fighting orcs, and first I was like, oh, well, this is amazing, Astartes fighting orcs, but what is really the idea? Is it to continue Astartes 1, or just do something totally different on its own? Kind of looks that's the case. I mean, if I was already an animator, I would, well, I don't know actually what I would do, but yeah, sometimes you, as an artist, I mean, person that creates things, uh, started losing my voice. Sorry. I will try different things. Like right now that I'm still drawing Rogodorn, and before that I drew the Emperor. So it's kind of based on what I want to do, what you want me to do, because I asked you guys. So that's kind of different in this aspect. But I do know from that perspective, as an artist, that sometimes just whatever it inspires you, because you don't actually have any restrictions. You can just do what you want to do, what you want to see. That's very actually important. When I first started with, my video creation initially, I was doing edits like music videos for Xeno Warrior Princess. That's how I learned a lot of video editing software, and I was doing these thematic videos that was very popular at that time. With the show, I just pick a topic and pick different episodes from Xena that would match the topic, pick the best possible music that, with the greatest lyrics that's gonna match also the topic, and then I just start making the video and all of that. And that could take weeks, but the point is that you just come up with what you want to see, because back then there were no like so many videos of Xena. I mean, there were a lot of videos, but the point was there was no like a super professionally edited video. Most of them are like a long scene from Xena, or two scenes, or well, barely cut, horrible quality, not 16 to 9, and they didn't know how to cut it 16 to 9. They just like stretched it like this, and it was horrible. So I want to see professionally done videos. There are only a few creators that can do that, and I learned how to do that very fast and start making all the videos that I wanted to see. So that's how I ended up with the best in the videos, basically. Even won a few awards, but that's in the past. I'm just saying, that is the mind of a creator. Sometimes you just create what you want to see, what you can create with your abilities, and it's kind of random. I mean, to the outside perspective, it could be kind of random. So that's absolutely amazing. Now let's see what you guys are saying in the comments, and we're gonna move on. If you're saying something in particular. Hey Apple, yeah, I know I need to rest, but if I get one more night of sleep, I'm gonna be fine. I cannot stay away for long. Yeah, I think you're right, Apple. Yeah, there could be. I mean, they are his homebrew actually, because no one recognized them, but they do look like the Lamenters. Sorry, guys, very late, very tired. Works and terminates on my view. Uh, yeah, I know that the Lamenters are not exactly the luckiest guys in the world. Okay, thanks, Ivy. yeah, the level of devotion. So that's the other thing, they took basically all the best animators and creators. There are a few more that are left actually. There are at least two more that I can think of. And yeah, I love to actually talk to at least one of them. They cannot hire everyone though. I just hope that they're not gonna start copyright striking everyone. And we don't know actually what is happening behind the scenes, whether or not they were, you know, um, I mean, approached like with the ultimatum. But as I said before, we talked about this. They can assimilate those creators and provide them with great opportunities and work. But the one thing that I don't agree with is taking down their original content, because that was their vision anyway. And even if they change it, make it official in the future, how they did with Astartes, that doesn't mean that the original should not be up, because it's unofficial, it's their thing, and everybody knows that. And if they don't know that it could be made as clear as day, you know. So let me just load another video here. So this is the Astartes project, the first video. So absolutely amazing. I'm talking about this part here. I mean, that's what I wanted to mention. Is Astartes 2 is going to have something to do with that part, where he was now here transported, sorry, here. And that whole thing, how he envisioned that's not really equivalent to what we have in 40k. It's something that he came up with in a way, like inspired by what already exists in 40k. So some principles of getting to another dimension with this orb and how it works. It's really hard to to like really know what exactly perfectly it is, but yeah, what it does is kind of like more important. So yeah, here are those gods, and I don't remember where I heard that theory, but basically it was literally like this was all underwater on Earth at some point. I just don't remember where I heard that, what are the basis of it, but whatever it is, it's amazing. It's pretty cool, visually striking, like of a big blockbuster movie. I think there was the same teaser here, or a bit different teaser. Let me see now. But yeah, that was right after the original last episode of Astartes 1 ended. Yeah, this first part. So I'm just envisioning in a way that the new Astartes is going to take place somewhere in the desert. It's just how I imagined it for the longest time now. So yeah, maybe that's gonna be it. I mean, some desert have to be there, and I just love this aesthetic of the desert and how they fart in the desert. Now this is the Warhammer Plus reel, and this moment where they announce that there's gonna be a freaking Warhammer Plus. And a lot of people just thought that they're gonna upload to YouTube, but no, we're going to discuss this. Just checking your comments quick. Yeah, well, they literally grabbed them because of their amazing talent. They're ahead of their time. They are fans, and they are very talented fans, and they decided to take things into their own hands because they could. They were inspired, and they did something that Games Workshop, as an official brand that actually owns this thing, just couldn't do or just didn't do. And yeah, those people just got ahead, and they invested so much time and effort into their projects, and that created this extremely interesting possibility and basically also information statistic that there's huge interest towards these types of animations. And people that have not heard of Warhammer ever in their lives came to Warhammer, and Warhammer got a ton more popular and a ton more in the mainstream eye. And that's how I found out about Warhammer. So I'm one of those examples that I got to Warhammer, and here I am. It was a pretty amazing journey of a year now, I think, or almost 1 year. Yeah, I know that all those videos are getting uploaded. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do, just like straight up uploading them without any commentary just so they can be there. I'm not sure that's also the best thing, but I wish that he could uploaded them so he can still, uh, benefit from them in a way, because they're his creations, and not just someone else getting tons of views. Like, well, yeah, that just doesn't feel very right. I understand that the video is not in YouTube anymore, and that Sodas himself or what whoever else cannot upload them anymore, but someone else can upload them anymore. And that is exactly one of the things that and one of the reasons actually that Games Workshop should not take those down, because then other people are gonna upload them, and the creator deserves to have his full versions on his channel and not somebody to upload them. uh, that is directly like something else. It's one thing to cover it as news, is another thing to completely purely upload it as this. I just cannot say that I agree with that, but that is what Games Workshop also caused by taking them down in the first place, making the creators taking them down in the first place. So as I said, whatever they create, the creators along with Games Workshop, it's like its own thing. If they change it, if they don't change it, it doesn't matter. The original is what started it all. The original is what made people come to see it. It's still gonna stand on his own no matter what. It's still going to be the original creation, whatever that is. So let it stand on its own and do an improvement or like an expansion of the same thing, or do another thing. Do whatever, create whatever you are agreed upon to do, together. But the original is still the original and nothing can change that. So why not just leave it there? Because people are getting into Warhammer because of these animations. Not only, but these days the animations, they get millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views. That is absolutely a free promotion for Games Workshop that they cannot even pay for if they wanted to. It's something that gets, their animation gets, the creators' animations get more views than the Warhammer official videos a lot of the times. So these creators are literally making Warhammer spread across the world as a popularity, as a franchise, as lore, everything. And Games Workshop gain money from that because they gain fans. They get into the tabletop and they buy the figurines if they can afford it, and the table and the codexes and all of those things, and the games. Oh, yeah, the games. Now, for instance, I cannot buy the tabletop and the figurines and make my own army and I can't. I don't have the slightest, like free place in my living room or whatever. Whenever everything is half of my living room is fitness, it's a gym, half is a studio, and like in the middle, there's a TV and a couch and a table, and that's like the entertainment center for me. And yeah, and all of that I packed into a relatively small living room. All the rest is like a corridor, a kitchen, and a bedroom, and that's it. So I cannot for the life of me, break the wall and go to the neighbors to play tabletop or afford, like I've said, all of that. But I'm still buying the freaking games when I can. You know, I'm still doing something. I'm still spreading the word. I'm still engaging with you people. With you guys. Sorry, like I said, it's so late and I have a lot of thoughts that are like, doing this in my head right now. Too many things to mention. Uh, this is an interaction, engagement of the fans. All of that does matter for the overall business, to stay relevant. And what Games Workshop do, they take this original content that makes them popular and takes it down. Everybody knows it's fan made, so it's not like it hurts their brand. It's not like, well, it's just too dumb. We would not do something like this, or we will not do this type of animation, or you just took some liberties with this. Like they said to the great creators of The Last Church, that they took some liberties and all of that. Yeah, fan creation, they took some liberties. It was their interpretation of the Last Church story, let's say. Whenever it was like not exactly matching, I don't know where that is, but that is what they said to the creators. So yeah, the point is, why take something that makes you popular? Why take something that makes you money? It makes the creators money directly, but in the same time, Games Workshop probably make a ton more money because, like I said, free promotion. So those that do the promotion, the animations, deserve to get what they get, and those that benefit, the source of inspiration, Games Workshop themselves, are also getting tons of benefits. So it's amazing that they get work for these amazing, talented people. I'm gonna say amazing like 10 times. You can put an amazing counter somewhere. But it's not amazing that they are taking down their original creations. They just have to be like the way they are and keep working on the other things or the new versions of the older things. Doesn't matter, just don't touch that. But they did. So here we are. Other people growing their channels because they're uploading the original work as is without adding anything to it because they don't want to. They want to, to provide basically for, the fans another place where they can again watch these. But this is not the best way and the healthier way and the most beneficial way, and fair way to do that. But that's just my opinion. I'm just saying. Now, before we continue, I'm just gonna check real quick what is happening here. Okay, so don't care. Hi to you, Patrick. Hi to you. Yeah, I also hope they make it big. With that talent, absolutely they should make it big. Yeah, the lore is huge. Yeah, well, yeah, Luton is very good, and yeah, Major Q is very good for laughing, yeah. Well, he also, provides cool info. Yeah, Baldermore is just not my thing, but yeah, I covered what was my thing from his things. That was interesting. Okay, let's see this. So this was once again the sizzle reel of all the animations. Okay, this looks the best. Exodite looks the best so far. Blood Angels just looks too wooden to me, as I said in my, coverage of the event. This was one of the best animations from the trailer of the night edition, which I also covered, and the animation studio themselves reached out to me and offered to include me in their official mixed reaction, taking other creators reacting to the trailer, and I was, of course, absolutely floored and honored by that, so I'm happy to be participating in that. But they are professional animating studio, and they are really amazing. So here's where we found out that actually them sorry, it's really hard to speak when, yeah, you're sick, and it's after midnight. But yeah, the point is, I was shocked when I saw this because I thought that this is going to be only the trailer, that this was only the trailer for the night edition, but no, it's going to be its own thing, its own animation. That is absolutely freaking awesome because it's the best. So it's kind of weird that we have so much difference in the quality here. This is awesome. It doesn't look wooden at all. They all look very expressive, movement, lips, everything very soft. It just, it's great. It's like a super high-tech gaming cutscene. And this animation. This is like, you know. I mean, just watch my reaction on the 7 minutes. I comment enough there. I just wish it was not so wooden, damn it. And this actually looks very good. So, Necrons, totally on point. This is exactly from that same animation. I don't know how much it cost to produce this and this, but for heaven's sake, I watched, this type of animation my whole life, so can we just get more of that, please? I would love it. Always wanted that, so I'm happy that we're getting it. But now that I can watch this, I mean, I watch Castlevania, I watch, what was that? I always forget. Blood of Zeus, such types of animation, DC animation movies. You know what I'm talking about. But that doesn't mean that I just want to switch to the other freaking CGI, very expressive, high quality animations. To this point, like, whoa! I mean, all their mouths are like with only 2 or 3 points of movement. I can rant about this all day. Okay, continuing. Sorry, I'm just getting some notifications on my watch. This is horrible. So the fighting looks good. This black, white, red is very striking. I mean, it's a cool style. It's not like the perfect preference. I just preferred all things to be in color, kind of like Sin City. I think Apple you said that. But then when you see the face, it's just faces. How they speak is just I cannot make the connection between the voice and the lips. You see that they're matching, but they're just not as expressive as they should be. Once again, from Night Edition trailer. This is really Sin City now. Like, really? What was that? Explosive stories from war-torn worlds? What the heck is that? Oh well, they actually don't specify. That's like a anime. The Night Edition, awesomeness. Okay, this is actually one of the best orcs I have ever seen in my life. Amazing quality. Prepare for drop pod assault. Now you see what I'm talking about with the lips? Somebody called it the PlayStation 2 graphics, and well, they're not, because PlayStation 2 is a lot more pixelated and smeared, but I know what they mean. They are kind of wooden like PlayStation 2. They're not smeared as PlayStation 2, but they are truly as wooden. Prepare for drop pod assault. Also, the eyes don't actually make any real logical movements with the mouth. Okay, I'm gonna stop. It's just things that I can't help but notice. They're like, just obvious to me. Okay, stopping it. This is awesome, Guardsman. I mean, once again, this is top-notch animation. Top-notch. Look at that. Like a World of Warcraft cutscene. And I'm just saying World of Warcraft because it's just the first thing on my mind. But yeah, World of Warcraft is just a good example of a good cutscene. just amazing. So you're going to get more info about Warhammer Plus, like I think in about 2 weeks. You have to check when was the next event. But what do you think about this? A lot of people thought that we're just gonna get all the animations for free on YouTube, and then just gonna sustain them in terms of budget through YouTube views. I never thought that that's gonna happen, guys, honestly. I mean, from a business perspective, I never thought that they're gonna count on that. I mean, they could do it, but it just. What to tell you? Business perspective, a lot of egos involved here. They watch the trend, they know that there's a lot of services out there. The plus, everybody talked about the plus because there's Disney Plus, that's not very original. Yeah, it is not, but logically it makes sense because it is Warhammer Plus, meaning that it provides with different new things that Warhammer never had before officially. So and the plus it's some other content that they promise, whatever that is, like discounts maybe for something physical, like one of the additions, like some of the figure, who knows, but something like that, they promise it's gonna have. So they plan to provide quite a lot with this service so it can justify its existence and price. So my guess is this is going to be, who knows, around $10 a month maybe. And yeah, I mean, that's just my guess. It's a bummer. I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but it's kind of bummer, for most people that are already subscribed to everything possible. And this doesn't seem like it's going to make Warhammer, a popular worldwide service, franchise, as much as the YouTube videos are in general doing that or were doing that. So this is a lot more, narrow, and in order for you to get there, I mean, it's not like you can just watch anywhere. So it's narrow in that sense, that not the broadest amount of people are going to be able to get to it. And since it's like a service behind a paywall, it's not like it's going to be that available as a YouTube video, of course. So it's not going to be that, you know what I mean. If they wanted to make Warhammer more famous than ever, more mainstream than ever, so everyone that did not know what that was and think that there's only Star Wars. I love Star Wars, but you know what I mean. That would be the chance for them to make it really popular, and then after a year or 2 years, maybe do something like this. Although then people are also gonna be furious, so there's not really a right time to do this. But now, and they can test it out, and if there's not like so many subscriptions, if they cannot make their money back, because believe me, this is going to be an extremely expensive endeavor for them. They're developing like a movie studio, not one, not two, but several animations with more to come that are not even announced yet. And that's not an easy thing to manage, and it's gonna take a lot of money. They're already hired all those animators. They obviously have, some kind of a contracts, and pay them enough money so those creators could be uh, happy enough and content with what they're getting for their work. So all of that is ton and ton of resources and time. So I get that, Games Workshop wants to get their money in some kind of a way so they can cover all of that and still make some profit. But they are very, very new at this. So we'll see how they're gonna do it. At least I hope that they learn something from Disney Plus and HBO Max, how they are doing things. They're still also learning, by the way. Netflix, they're still also learning. So everything changes, depends on how people consume content and what they want and what they prefer. But I just I heard a lot of super negative opinions about this, that they're doing it this way, because those people had the expectations that we are just gonna get them for free on YouTube. I never had this expectation because I just, know how they would think from a business perspective. And I was like, well, I cannot say anything. I mean, I cannot say anything for certain. I just think that that's not gonna happen because, companies usually do not think as we do. And you have to kind of think like them to predict what they're gonna do. So I didn't never think that that's gonna happen. So I was not that disappointed. I was like, oh, okay, I'm right. I don't like to be right about negative or I mean negative things. That's kind of relative because if this allows them to do more, we're gonna get more. Sorry, guys. And yeah, uh, mm, we never know what the future brings, and this could lead to something better. Who knows? Who knows? We wait and see. They can adapt another model and really upload this to YouTube in time, but we just don't know yet. So we're gonna find out, sooner rather than later when the server's gonna be released, how much it's gonna cost. Pretty sure that they're gonna announce that, if not on the next event, on the next event. Who knows? They are promising kinda that it's gonna be announced on the next. So just like 2 weeks or 1 week and a half, we're gonna know. We're gonna know, guys. Now, what do you think about Warhammer Plus, and would you spend any money on that so you can watch all of these animations? The other thing is that a lot of people that are not involved with the tabletop are involved and just prefer a lot more to play the games, watch the content, watch the animations. I mean, but they're not, in the tabletop. And the people that are in the tabletop are not that interested in the movie representation or the animation representation of all those stories. I don't know how, but they're not. They're just different generations sometimes. Uh, I mean that's kind of irrelevant, but you know what I mean. There's just some veterans on the tabletop game, and they just see Warhammer as this mostly, and they're not really into the games or into the animations. That's what I mean. Doesn't mean that if you play Warhammer and you never want to touch the animations, but I'm pretty sure that those are the two groups of people. So one can be like the hardcore Warhammer fans since the very very beginning, from 30 years ago, that are not that interested in the animations, and the other that are going to be interested in the animations but not that much in the tabletop, which is people like me that cannot afford a freaking tabletop in the first place. So, in the hobby, to paint and all of that. And the other people that are both in, okay, so third kind, that are everything Warhammer and that are going to be interested in the tabletop and the animations. So yeah, you see how that's gonna convert to actual subscriptions. That's what I mean. Michael, hi to you. Gotta check your comments real quick. Oh, hi Rio. Oh, okay. Apple, you are very like direct. Well, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, about Sienna Peterson's story. I think that might be a combination of both things. Java, hi. I already answered that. I don't know when you tuned in. So yeah, it depends. I think that they're gonna follow up his vision to the much as possible. But when they, talk about where this is gonna go, is it going to be a standalone story, like Astartes seemed to be the first Astartes with the Retributors, or is going to be something like a continuation, and maybe that's gonna connect in the future. I mean, it all depends. If they want to make a series out of it, they can still make series out of it, but telling the story of different legions and in different situations around the galaxy. It's kind of like what it looks like for now, but how much creative freedom they're going to allow him, mm, I don't know. I mean, for the most part, makes sense that they're gonna use his vision and talent, but they also have to consult on lore and how things connect. They just have to. So that maybe it's gonna influence how the story goes. It cannot be like completely disconnected from absolutely anything. There has to be some kind of a addition to his idea. That's just what I think. Uh, High disparaging cheers video. Gold platter tabletop. Yeah, sure. If I can just manifest space, another room, and like tons of money, sure. Okay, what else, guys? Oh, they have a lot more than Siama Pedersen disparaging. They have the main animators, like with two that are kind of still remaining, but they got almost all of them. They got Sodas. They got the guys that made the last church. Mm, damn it, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, um, they got the guys that did Primaris, the Black Templars. That's the same. One studio, so to speak, that's gonna make Iron Within. I don't remember what they did before. I think that they're new. I mean, I haven't seen anything that they've done before, but they're 3D animators, so basically like what you can see with Primaris Marines in that kind of a style, very high quality animation. They literally got all the main Warhammer creators with the most successful animations. Well, we're going to get a TV show, Eisenhorn, so that's great. First live action Warhammer ever think ever, yes. Well, they have a ton of lore. That's why one of the animation is going to be different stories throughout Warhammer. Just wait a sec. I almost lost my voice, guys, completely. It's very hard to talk now. So I'm gonna finish reading your comments and just hit the bed. It's midnight and 31 minutes now.
Remember why we fight.
Yeah, the retributors.
We've been here long enough.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The animators. And like I've said, now that animation, the Blood Angel, that's made from an official studio too. Those two, that is the night edition trailer that's actually animation now also. It's gonna be a part of animation, which I comment on just before you guys came. Those are like official. I mean, we actually don't see anything from the guys, from the animators here in this teaser. I don't think this is all already official, already animator studios that worked on these animations for Games Workshop before all the animators were snatched. I mean, that kind of happened rather soon if you think about it. First with Siama Pedersen, and then the Primaris guys. I forgot how they were calling themselves right now. Sorry. And then sodas, or before sodas there was also someone else. So yeah, these are all official. So of course we can't see anything from the creators because it's like too early. This just happened like I think 2 months ago when everything started. So yeah, but everything that they already worked on is here, and the 2D animations that Hammer and Bolter series. Each and every episode is gonna be like standalone, totally different animation, telling the story of different factions and different places of the galaxy. One Sisters of Battle episode, one like Inquisitor connected episode, one with the guardsman somewhere. Yeah, I have to check the site. I can't quote them all, but that's why that's how they can use the lore, and they do. Just getting a lot of individual stories in that series alone. So that Hammer and Bolter is 2D animated series that's like with every individual episode that is on its own what it is, and the others are series that are gonna focus only on a particular thing. But there are many series, so we're getting stories from all sources of the lore, and even the Tau. Well, I don't see how they can make a Netflix movie when they have their own freaking service. That they literally have their service. So why will they sell it to Netflix? It just doesn't make any sense. It's like if Disney Plus, like, they release Cruella. So why they don't sell Cruella to Netflix? Well, because it's on Disney Plus, only because it's their movie. They can like sell it to Netflix after 2 years, but originally it's gonna be only on their platform. I mean, they will not do that. I'm just saying that there's certain instances, but that's different thing, like Sony getting their movies in Netflix because they don't have an exclusive service. So Spider-Man, all Spider-Man movies and other Sony movies, basically all of them, are gonna come to Netflix, and so they have contract for this. That's possible, but to make something and to have your own service, sell it to another service, just doesn't make any sense. At least not for now. Yeah, Black Templars, yes. One of the story will focus a lot on the Iron Warriors too. The Guardsmen, how they are going to deal with the Iron Warriors. Yeah, I know. Well, the delay is actually not that much, but when I start talking to finish my thoughts to reply, a lot of time is passing by. Oh yeah, only the Horus Heresy is huge, but I would like to see, personally, just the start of how the Emperor came to power. A bit of a backstory of him, how he became, the Emperor of Mankind, how he conquered the Earth with his first warriors. How he genetically engineered them. All of those things are so interesting. And then how the Astartes replaced them. I mean, the Thunder Warriors, how the Astartes replaced them, how the Custodes killed them, all of that timeline, 30k timeline, and then getting to the Heresy. And then it's a new season, a new show that's starting with the Heresy. So, like, 2 separate shows, first having a lot of seasons, like Game of Thrones. Actually, Game of Thrones did not have a lot of seasons, but something long, like a 1-hour episode, at least 12 episodes, damn it, like more episodes a season, that's gonna take a look all the 30k lore that's possible, of course, just from that moment, where the Emperor was like, you can do this in a flashback if you have to show him how he roamed the earth and learned so many things that lived for thousands of years and different personalities that he had to become, and then eventually reaching that moment in time where he decided to step out of the shadows and become the Emperor of Mankind. And then how he started changing the earth and taking the power and just doing all of that. And then it's gonna end at the Heresy, and then we're going to get a new show. that's gonna be amazing. Like, imagine the Emperor realizing what is happening, and then the show cuts and that's it. And then the next starts, and we see how the heresy plays out with a lot of amazing episodes. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I mean, I can't believe that nobody is focusing on that, but they're focusing on so many other different stories. And if I like just started, having to learn about Warhammer, I would be extremely lost. Extremely lost. I mean, I was at the beginning, but then I started from the beginning. I started from whatever I could. I watched whatever I could, and yeah, here we are. But for the general, well, most people, it's not like Star Wars. You watch episode 4 and then episode 5 and 6. Actually, you have to start with episode 1, but you can also watch them in that order, the original order, and then watch them in the actual chronological order, and you're still gonna get everything. But Star Wars is well, as much as it's getting more complicated these days with a lot more characters and the Mandalorian type of lore and things there, and now what happened with the Bad Batch? I mean, those clones. The lore is getting more and more, but compared to 40k, it's just like nothing, nothing. It still is simple enough. 40k, nothing is simple. So if I'm just starting 40k and I see all those animations, I will know what's that, what are these women with, why there's orcs, is this like, whoa. So this is like made for fans that already know these things. Oh, damn it. But if I was my apology once again, I'm really sleepy. It's almost 1 a.m. But if I was Game Workshop, I would be like, okay, if I want to make this mainstream, I gotta make this big, huge series, because series is just gonna be a lot better for such thing. And just start from the beginning with the Emperor and how everything started and why it is the way it is. Because you cannot say why things are the way they are at all. You just see these armies and those creatures and gene stealers and like totally a full chaos. Nothing can be understood. This race of aliens, on the surface everything looks so convoluted, but it actually has a structure. So I think that they should start from at least that point in time. They don't have to start with the shamans, but well, they do have to actually explain how he came to be. I mean, the Emperor, whether that's gonna be canon, I mean, the shamans or something else, we never know. What is going to be the movie or the series canon. Are they going to be separate from the books canon? Oh, that's an interesting question. So yeah, that's the point. We start from there, from the Emperor's origin, and move along, and then you can explain why there's what are the Astartes, why there's so many chapters, how the other chapters were created, then the Primaris, because the Astartes weren't enough, and there's so many things, the Primarchs, the Chaos, and the Gods, but all of that does have some kind of a chronological order. So in order to understand Warhammer, you have to start just move like in the linear path in a way, and branch out to explain different things, but still like go in one direction, into the 40k. So that to me is like the best. I just want to see that realized, and not exactly all of these random stories. Maybe it's going to pick a lot of people's curiosity about Warhammer in general, but they're still gonna be confused, the general audience, that they're just not used to such a layered lore of anything. I mean, it's very easy to get into anything else, but not that easy to get into Warhammer. I mean, think about it. I can catch up very quickly with Lord of the Rings, let's say, and know the basics, or actually the full story and the basics. And if I want to learn more about the elves, I can do that in 5 minutes, let's say, that particular race. Here, there are just so many factions and layers to each faction and why they're created, and like take whatever chapter you like the Lamenters, how they are very unfortunate, and the Blood Rage, and they're just very much a ton of substance and story behind every single thing. So that is extremely fascinating. That's why I got into Warhammer, because everybody were like, I was asking where to begin. They were like, well, you can start from this, and I'm like, wait, like, hold the horses, because hold your horses, because yeah, for you that could make sense in your head because you already have some kind of an order there, but for me it's like a mishmash. So in order to make sense of all of it and to understand where everything goes, yeah, you gotta really dig in, and you cannot spend a few hours, you spend weeks and months, and that's exactly what I did. And final thoughts, I'm still on that book. Damn it, I'm almost start forgetting things. Damn it, how was it, that book? This is the least, like, the least favorite book that I ever went through, so that's why I forget forget its title. Okay, I'm not, like, for the first time, not sure if I'm gonna even finish it. It's extremely excruciating to finish it. Nemesis. Yeah, Nemesis. Extremely hard to get through this book. It's just, besides the custodies and some facts about the assassins and Malkador the Sigillite conversations, there's just nothing that I can sink my teeth into. And yeah, it's extremely, I just can't. It's extremely boring for me. I cannot follow it. It's a torture. It's a chore. It's a chore. So maybe I'm not gonna finish that and just get to the next heresy book, because I really want to get to the Emperor of Mankind book, which is like after 10 books. So gotta freaking move things along. Okay, finishing, guys, what you said. So many people ask if this is like, whoa. Yeah, I get that, because things kind of repeating themselves. I mean, there's orcs, elves, Eldar, but you know what I mean. And then there's Dungeons and Dragons, which also elves, orcs, dwarves. Things kind of repeating. And dwarves are in Warhammer Fantasy, but people just, everything blends. 40k is really unique as long as you spend a bit more time getting into it. A person can understand that, but because it's so unique and so different, you really have to dedicate more time to really appreciate and get that. Okay, finishing your thoughts. Yeah, the shamans. Oh well, once again, if that is their idea of the Emperor's origin, as long as it's successful, they can, of course. Okay.
Prepare for drop pod assault.
Yeah, of course. 3D, yeah. Well, don't care, that's how the Lamenters are written. Not everybody can, can be lucky. And in 40k, a lot of things are just, well, on the suck side, so they're not exactly positive in any case. They just get even the shorter end of the sticks. The stick.
Is a space marine than a sword against the dark.
Oh no. Blood and all of that, they have to stick to it. You cannot make 30k, 40k without what it is. You have to stick to that. It is what it is. I mean, you cannot censor it. I mean, you can choose the ways of filming it to make it more tasteful and not linger on a severed head for like 10 long, extremely unnecessary seconds, because I just hate that way of filming where the shock is emphasized way too much and it's done extremely untastefully. that's not needed, but you can still show everything, still have it there, and show it in a very serviceable way that actually provides some value and emotion and impact on the scene without making it on the nose, but it's a fine line sometimes. If you see how Castlevania is made, a lot of times they go overboard and they linger on a particular shot. They make it like very very close to the camera, so even even the fact that you're watching animation, you can still be repulsed by it because of just the way it's shot. I mean, framed. And I found myself eating, because I want to watch something when I eat, and I'm like eating, and I'm like, oh, no, 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 I'm not watching this. So I was like, oh, I'm disappointed. I have to stop it now and just watch something like a lot lighter, because really the way that they shot this was horribly disgusting. So I can watch it otherwise, but you can totally tell that they make this on purpose, and they didn't need to do that on purpose, because I don't care if like this vampire or night creature has a sword in his eye and like show it for 6 or more seconds. That's just losing time just watching the blood, how it's dragging from the sword, like from the blade towards his pierced eye. That's absolutely unnecessary and ridiculous. I mean, you could just put the sword through his eye and they can show that, and just next shot something else, but no, they linger on it specifically. So that's just cheap way of making you feel disgusted. I mean, we get it, he has a sword in the freaking eye, okay? Don't need to linger on that, just wasting freaking screen time, really. But that doesn't mean, once again, that they cannot include everything that they should be including. Just shoot it, frame it tastefully, impactfully, and all of that. I like 40k more than fantasy. I mean, I love fantasy from what I know of fantasy, and I'm fascinated with Age of Sigmar. I know that people don't like it very much, but I'm fascinated with the lore there too, and Sigmar himself. I love just godly figures, but I need a lot of time to get into it, and I just don't have the time. I mean, from time to time I am learning something about the lore, like in passing, but of course I cannot dedicate as much as time as 40k, because I'm just gonna lose track of everything. I have to dedicate my time to what I really like most anyway, and 40k has qualities that fantasy just doesn't have for me, like some deeper stuff that this has. Fantasy is a bit more adventurous, it's a bit more fantasy, and although I love that too, it's just not what I'm particularly looking for. I'm looking for something that is more philosophical, that you can dig your teeth in, like some psychological things, like some esoteric things, and all of that. There is like actually a ton of it in 40k, so I prefer 40k, just a lot more layered. I would watch anything fantasy otherwise, but it's just, yeah, I need something deeper, so 40k. Okay.
What more is a space marine?
Exactly, exactly, Michael. You said it also very good. You don't have to keep the camera on the severed head, but you still have to sever the head. Absolutely. uh,
We've been here long enough.
okay.
Mark my words. Let us play.
Well, didn't I read The Rise of Horus? I'm pretty sure I did.
It seems I must remind you of the rules, Adept.
Hi to you too, Morpheus, Nicholas, and Cryo. Well guys, thank you very much for joining, but I'm streaming now for a lot of time. How much time? well, a lot. And I really have to go to bed. It's 1 a.m. almost. Like I said, I really want to stream Necromunda today, but two things. I have a driver issue for some reason. The game is crushing my drivers completely, and I don't know why is that. There should be an update in a few hours, but I'm gonna be sleeping then. I hope there's gonna be a driver from NVIDIA, but we'll see. There's no exact issue on the laptop, but I cannot stream from there. So it's gonna be very technologically not optimizing experience to stream from there. So I hope that all that's gonna be fixed so I can stream the game for you guys, and hopefully fix this very strange issue. And yeah, if the game was with the lifted embargo today and not basically tomorrow, which is gonna be in a few minutes my time, I would stream it a lot earlier, but there is an embargo. One YouTuber broke it, I don't know how and why, but he did. All the others are just waiting like me to get to that 1 a.m. mark, but, and 1 a.m. at least my time, but for most people that are in Europe still late, so. But yeah, I cannot start streaming now and end up in 3 a.m. So I'm just gonna do that as soon as I can tomorrow. And you have enough time to maybe fix that issue so I can actually stream it without my whole PC to crash and burn. So guys, that is it. We discussed everything that is probably possible and probable with Astartes 2 project, and discussed whatever is going to happen with the animations and Warhammer Plus as a service. You can, rewind the stream from the beginning if you like to hear all of that, and of course let me know what you think in the comments, guys. It's always great to interact with you in the comments. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you like to support me, you can check out the links down below to my OnlyFans, where I do my meaningful sex educational content plus fitness, health, nutrition, everything that I can help you with. And yeah, everything that I'm associated with just down there in the comments. And of course, for all the Warhammer fans, you can join my Golden Astartes server. We share different things, news, pictures, even some, from Warhammer Fantasy, lore on 40k, a lot of different things. Just very friendly people. I'm very proud that we gathered some awesome Astartes there. So yeah, you can go there and just join it. I mean, click whatever you wish down below, guys. But thank you very much for joining me, and I hope I can see you tomorrow for Necromunda and whatever else I can produce in the day. Thank you, Michael. Sleep well if you have similar time to me, yes. And to my Primarchs, Apple, dear Clayton, dear Ivy, also sleep well. Or how I like to call them, Materian, Aurelian, and damn it, Claudius. I should never stream after 11, but I just couldn't find time before that, damn it. I wish I wasn't sick too, but that's another thing. Yeah, good night, guys. See ya. Yeah, a lot of hearts. Oh, thank you for sharing the Discord server. Yeah, everybody are free to join. Everybody are free to join, guys. So, bye, kisses, hugs, and till next time.